Hey folks, today we're going to do a quick overview of the Arcane Mage in Mythic Plus dungeons. So if you're new to the Arcane Mage or the spec in general, Arcane's got fantastic single target and AoE burst damage. It's great for taking down any kind of priority target you'll come across. Highly mobile with shimmer and displacement, and provides kind of a proactive defensive with greater invisibility and as well as ice block. So pretty fantastic overall. The big challenge with Arcane, and this is more challenging than even Frost or Fire, is that mana management can really leave you a little strung. So watch for that as you're getting to know the spec. From a talent build standpoint, on fortified and low key weeks, basically if you're looking to chew through and knock out that timer right away, you want to go with the following build. Rule of threes for tier 1, Shimmer to take advantage of your mobility again for tier 2. At tier 3, go with Rune of Power, but if you're not as familiar with Rune of Power, it is probably the best theoretical talent you can go with. But if you're not comfortable using it, or you're in a dungeon with affixes that basically are indicating that you're going to be moving a fair bit, go with Incanter's Flow. The damage difference isn't that massive at relatively moderate DPS levels. I'm sure there's some min-maxers that would debate that. But Incanter's Flow will probably be sufficient for the majority of the population out there. Tier 4, you're going with Resonance. Take advantage of that Arcane Barrage getting buffed up. Tier 5, you're in Chrono Shift. It's really being able to slow down packs. This helps your tank while they're kiting. Tier 6, Reverberate. So Arcane Explosion hits at least 3 targets. It has a 40% chance to generate an extra Arcane Charge. Really, really fantastic for dungeons. And then finally, Tier 7, you want to go with Arcane Orb and launch an Arcane Orb forward from your position, traveling up to 40 yards, dealing arcane damage to all the enemies it passes through. Basically, burn them down. So that's our build for fortified weeks. It does change a little bit for tyrannical, or if you're looking to push higher keys. Tier 1, Tier 2, rule of threes, shimmer. They're the go-tos. There is a case for slipstream if you are a little more dialed into it and you've got less of a need for the benefits that come with shimmer. Again, same case made for Rune of Power. If you're comfortable with the build, the dungeon mechanics, certainly take advantage of it. If not, go with Incanter's Flow. Now we see the first change for tier 4, you're not going to go with Resonance, you're going to go with Charged Up, grant that 4 arcane charges right away. It's a big difference maker. Tier 5, you're going to stick with Chrono Shift, but tier 6, you're going with the Nether Tempest. Makes a pretty substantial difference there. Now finally, tier 7, you're going to switch out of Arcane Orb and you're going to jump back over to Overpowered. So Arcane Power now increases your damage by 60%, reduces mana cost by 60. So avoid all of that low mana pain and take advantage of essentially a new cooldown. If you're wondering where you're going to go farm as far as being an Arcane Mage goes, Atal'Dazar is one of the best go-to locations that you can ask for, and that's for a few different reasons. One, you can get the absolute best weapon that exists out there, as well, for mages. And then the next play, you can pick up a pretty solid trinket as well. So if you are, in fact, looking to min-max at all, that's kind of where you want to start to dedicate. Get your weapons, your trinkets, and your ring straightened away, and you're off to the races from there. Now, finally, as far as major essences go, there's a few different plays here. Essence of the Focusing Iris is basically the best major essence in heavy AoE situations, so really consider it for Mythic Plus. But you want to consider it when your group is doing large AoE pulls. Now, with the buffs of World Vein Resonance, Arcane is one of the few specs that actually looks great with that as a major. So it's the best single target trait and best for low AoE or cleave situations. So really something to take advantage of. Really, why haven't you been farming islands all of VFA? As far as minors go, you want to go with Breath of the Dying. That came with 8.3. Make sure you get it to rank 3 before you get it in terms of being competitive. If not, the raw DPS gain isn't that substantial. Go with the Essence of the Focusing Iris if you haven't used that as your major already. Following that, Conflict and Strife and Purification Protocol are both pretty competitive. They're solid options for AoE fights or Mythic Plus. So the World Vein Resonance should be used right before activating your cooldowns like Rune of Power or Arcane Power. Definitely find a way to incorporate that into your rotation. That's probably the biggest adjustment you need when you're going with a rank 3 World Vein Resonance. All of your other essences, if you're not able to get World Vein, it's really just knock them out during cooldown. Try to activate them either on cooldown outside of Arcane Power and Rune of Power, and that's basically because that essences don't get the bonus, essentially the stacking bonus from Arcane Power or Rune of Power. So that's kind of why you probably want to stagger it. Something to keep in mind anyway as you're trying to polish up your rotation in the next little bit. All right, folks, if you made it this long, thanks for checking out the Arcane overview. Let me know in the comments, what do you like? What did I totally miss on? What can we do better? I'm open for all the good feedback. All right, thanks a bunch for checking it out, and good luck before you get into Shadowlands. See ya.